Right, we got the crude report coming out here. So we'll wait our 2 minutes. Once you've back tested with the UTA, then you want to go to your 25 in a row without a mistake and learn how to execute your trade plan. Go to dress rehearsal. There's a lot of steps to get to that winning plan that you can grow your equity with. But if you go through the steps, your odds of success will go up pretty good. If you don't go through the steps, your odds of success probably not very good. All right, so we're waiting our 2 minutes. You can see the range here. Let's see if it could break out of this range on the upside, trying to. There we go. The 50 starting to curl up, the high trend indicator moving up, but we still have more time. We'll keep an eye on this trade possibility here. It's a good sized trade, 22 ticks. Long at 42, but we have to wait. We still got a lot could happen in 35 seconds. Got to wait 2 minutes. You can see the range of that initial reaction has already been exceeded. We have a filtered trade we're not interested in yet. Still got, well, the long trade is canceled, right? 2 bars closed on the other side of the signal line. So now we're flat, waiting for a setup. So far, no setups. So it looks like we'll be taking the very next trade that sets up. The short trade is in the squeeze zone. That's why it was filtered out. Unusual, we don't have any setup yet. Usually we've got one by now. You can see how the market is tested in this zone here. Testing that 200 moving average, now moving lower. So trading in the direction of the 50 moving average, not going to work in this case. I mean, it could if we get a short and it keeps moving lower, but that's not the rules of the counterpunch, so I'm not going to worry about that. We have a leg down, a reaction into our lines. Maybe he's going to set up a second leg down. Looks like we're going to get exhaustion dots for a possible long trade, but no setups. It would be a purple setup if it closes up above the signal line. It's good that you should know that in advance so that you can be ready for it. This could be a setup bar to go long. If it moves lower, could get one here. Looking like a possible long setup. That would be at 31, right? The high of the bar plus 2 ticks plus key level adjustment. That puts us at 31. If it closes doji or green, and there it is. We have a long at 31. It's good to be able to anticipate that, right? See it coming before it happens. The stop's at 13, targeting 45 and 51. So if that 50 continues to move higher, and the price comes back up to see if it can work through the 200 moving average, this could be a good trade. The histogram has not been able to get into the red, but we don't know. All we know is it's the first trade of the trade plan, and we know how this trade plan works, so who are we to argue, right? You just go with it. Long at 31, targeting 45 and 51, and the stop is at 13. 14 ticks to target 2. And look at that, it got long. Now, could it get to money management? Let's see. Could it make a new swing high? There's money management. Lock your trade, lock your profit in. Make sure you take the risk off the trade. Let's see if it'll survive and give us another leg higher. Missing target 2 by 2 ticks only. Let's see if it'll get there. Got a leg up. A reaction into the lines. Let's see if we can get a second action move higher. Pretty range bound, not a lot of follow through, so let's see if support keeps us in this trade. And no, unfortunately it stopped us out for a 1 tick gain, and now we have to wait for a second setup. So unusual, we usually hit that full target on the first trade. This is going to take another trade, and the short in the squeeze zone. Almost hit our target 2 ticks shy of our goals, forcing us to have to take a second trade. If it was 1 tick shy, if it got to 44 instead of 43, that would count, right? If we miss full target by 1 tick, that counts. If we miss by 2 ticks, for me it has to be a bigger trade. 14 ticks is not large enough to miss by 2 ticks. If it was 20 ticks and it missed by 2 ticks, that's 90% of the way. Yeah, you could make an argument that that would be close enough for power of quitting. You take a partial profit. But on a 14 tick trade, I'm doing rough math in my head here, but it's just 20%. It's too far away. It's not a full target winner, and it's not close enough, not in my opinion. At least that's my own trade plan rule, so I just got to stick with it. So pretty uneventful crude oil report. And remember, this is FOMC day, so there's other influences at play here. The crude oil, of course, being very sensitive to the value of the dollar. All right, so now we have a short. We got a short at 24, and it's targeting 11 and 06, and it did trigger in. Let's see if we can get to our targets. Stops at 38, of course. And now the stop is one tick below our entry, so move it down. There's full target. Make sure you get filled. So we got power quitting, you got risk-free. Let's see if we can get more on this. So far, we haven't been able to follow through. Do I care about the direction of the 50 moving average? No, I don't. The calculator's doing it all for me. There was one trade that went against the 50, was filtered out, even though it would have been a winner. We were patient. We waited for the next setup. This would have been a white counterpunch trade. Instead, we took the first green trade. It's usually a high percentage winner, full target, and then it stopped out, and we're done. And that's it. 2 trades, another winning session on the crude oil inventory report. I think we've lost 1 session in the last 4 months, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. And that's it. That's how it works. We're done. Any questions? Yes, I was trading that myself too. Think or swim. Pretty foolish to do, but I do it anyway. I'm on NT and also using 377 tick chart and CL, but my candles have been all gray and no setup. Well, Amit, you're using Spotlight. This is Counterpunch Trader. It's totally different. I think you're confusing the 2 strategies. Yeah, you're okay. Hey, we all get those sometimes, right? No, I use Counterpunch for the crude oil inventory report because of what you just said. All your setups are gray. Spotlight's pickier. It's going to take longer to get into trades, and I might want to look at the momentum bar instead of the 377 tick. You need to test that on your own. From what I can see, it does amazing. You should do well, but I don't know what does more amazing than the 377 tick with counterpunch, which is why I keep using it. I have a very simple philosophy in life. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. This trade plan's been working for so long, I just don't see any reason to do anything different. So it's Counterpunch Trader 377 tick only because there's no reason to change. It keeps winning. And that's what we're doing this for.